You have all heard about the term a broken chord because yes, we cannot play 4 notes at the same time on the violin. Therefore, we have to essentially string cross at some point. It's not more than that. So there's no need to force more weight, more energy, more attention into it because actually sound quality will suffer. General good advice, just generally relax in the shoulder. So there's no need to do anything of this, to force more pressure into the string. Now, to address the very opening chord. Chords do return across this piece a lot of times, so I just want to share with you a few technical aspects regarding chords in general. Here we have a 3-voice chord, and I see this a lot, that violinists of all backgrounds just see a chord and think now they have to do something that is just different. They see more notes at the same time, more effort, maybe more pressure, more weight, but really forgetting what a chord essentially is. And what a chord essentially is a détaché. It's just a down or an up bow. Most of the time when it's a 3-voice chord or 4-voice chord, it is a down bow. And you have all heard about the term a broken chord because yes, we cannot play 4 notes at the same time on the violin. Therefore, we have to essentially string cross at some point. This is all it is. We're doing a string cross while doing a down bow détaché. It's not more than that. So there's no need to force more weight, more energy, more attention into it because actually sound quality will suffer. So to recalibrate how we want to feel about the sound production playing a chord, let's just play the 2 parts that are broken up for the broken chord eventually, which is the G and D string and the A and E string. Just make them sound nice, staying relaxed in the shoulder, starting from the string, not with an attack from the air, from the string, make them sound nice. So far so good. Let's just do that with the A and E string. That's really it. And all we do during breaking the chord is a string cross between these 2 pairs of strings. So just the fact that we have 4 notes stacked on top of each other when we look at the score does not mean that we're doing anything inherently different, especially when we are here on a quarter note in a relatively slow tempo, slow enough to actually bring out the sonorous qualities and not have to deal with any complicated voicing just yet. So we have the time to just play a sonorous, nice, soft, broken chord 2+2. And just keep in mind, it's just a down bow détaché with a string cross in the middle. That's it. I think it's really important for all chords to maintain a sense of flexibility in your right hand, and also just general good advice, just generally relax in the shoulder. So there's no need to do anything of this, to force more pressure into the string. Just relax. Keep the softness in the right hand, shoulder is low, and then really it's as easy as letting even the breaking part, the string crossing part, just let the bow follow the arm. Just naturally wants to drop in that natural fashion without having to force that over the elbow. We'll talk about string crossings in more detail in different situations further on. But this shall be a few pointers regarding chords. If we go into the first variation, which starts 4 bars before rehearsal number 1. So I like to use this part specifically to introduce a new element that we can work on. Again, treating this like a mini etude, which is bow speed manipulation on individual notes. I like to give them a little bit of an impulse, a little bit of a breath on each note, whether up or down bow. I give it a little bit more of a swing, and I'll explain how we'll do that. And that we'll do with, again, bow speed manipulation and purposefully. So what we do is we start each bow stroke fast with like a higher bow speed and then slow it down, which gives this impulse, this like a little bit forward-leaning pum. You know, if we enunciate this phonetically, I would say something like pum, 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 maybe like a big bell, for example. Ta-dum, pa-dum, pa-dum. And you know, instinctively, I use like something like tam or pum, which, if you think about it, this M sound has like this decaying resonant quality to it. And that is what we could, this is an artistic choice, but also with a technical meaning behind it that I want to cultivate here. And this we can try to cultivate with conscious speed and conscious manipulation of bow speed. So faster bow on each start of each note, whether up or down bow. So one more time. So fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow. And this does not involve really a harsh accent or so. This is purely from bow speed. So we have a little bit of a cushy start and not a harsh accent. That is a variable we can add to taste. But I would suggest just bow speed manipulation. So fast, slow down, fast, slow down. And here we can kind of lean in the syncopation character and continue with this. So that's what I suggest as a little bit of a technical focus point for these 4 bars. And now, starting in rehearsal number 1, we deal for the first time. You see how the technical aspects are kind of stack and we can kind of focus on individual aspects of technical execution. From rehearsal number 1, we have flowing legato across several notes at a time. So what is important here? That we maintain what is a legato really? It's a détaché across several notes, sometimes with string crossing. What we see here is also a stacked rhythmic texture. So we start on quarter notes here, which is nice. So we just have to deal with one string cross, ideally just very smooth. Followed by 8ths now. And now 8 triplets. So regarding the 8ths, one thing that I'll address here, which will return again, since we're playing this in a legato, the clean left-hand finger activity is really all we have to articulate this nicely, to have a clean, still separation of notes. Because the bow doesn't help us for this clean note separation, this cleanliness, this nicely articulated 8ths. So all we have is clean left-hand activity. So I will just demonstrate and I'll try again not to cheat. If I, for example, have like a little bit of lazy left-hand fingers, and I'll explain what I mean by that, versus more active, clean lifting fingers, there's still a little bit, and that is a crucial little bit of more clarity in articulation. And I'll explain what I mean by that. It's a little bit like speaking. So for example, if I say, you will probably have a hard time understanding me. Versus, good morning, my name is Christian Kim, where I actually open my mouth and use my lips and actually enunciate something properly. And this is a little bit, it's not just a little bit, this is quite comparable to what we do with left-hand fingers. The actual point is not whether to lift high or to keep the fingers close to the fingerboard. It is about having a clean impulse that releases the string. Clean and relaxed impulse of the fingers while lifting. Because, for example, in a downwards movement, and we go stepwise downwards here, the only variable that gives the E natural clear articulation is how cleanly I lift the finger before it, which in that case is the 4th finger. If that impulse of the of the fourth finger isn't clean and isn't relaxed and fast enough, then we'll end up with something versus. It is a small difference, but it makes a big difference overall. So I would, for example, again, use this like a mini etude, verse number 1, a clean finger articulation, clean and relaxed impulses to lift the finger. And now we go into the next variation.